So, dear friends, once again it's hearty welcome. Today, in this our new lecture, we are going to study the topic gametogenesis and simultaneously the structure of male gamete, that is spermatozoon, and structure of female gamete, that is ovum. So let us start the study of new topic, that is gametogenesis. The meaning of gametogenesis is very simple. We all are known that gametos, this word stands for gamete, and genesis, this word stands for formation. Gametogenesis, it is the process of formation of haploid gametes from diploid primordial germ cells, or we can say germ mother cells. Meaning is very simple. I am going to repeat once again. Gametogenesis, it is the process of formation of gametes. The process of formation of gametes. The process of formation of gametes is nothing but the gametogenesis. Now we know that in sexually reproducing animals, and as we are talking about the human reproduction, there are two types of gametes such as male gamete, spermatozoon, and female gamete, that is ovum. As there are two types of gametes, so obviously the gametogenesis is also of two types. That is spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis, name itself indicates, spermatos stands for sperm or spermatozoon, spermatozoa in plural form, and genesis stands for the formation. So what is spermatogenesis? Process of formation of sperms, process of formation of spermatozoa, that is male gametes, spermatogenesis. And second, oogenesis. Second, oogenesis. Here double O, it's O. This word stands for the ovum. These two letters indicate the ovum or egg cell, that is female gamete. Genesis, formation. So the process of formation of ova, process of formation of female gametes is known as oogenesis. So now we have to start our study from spermatogenesis. So spermatogenesis. The definition or meaning of spermatogenesis, I told you just now that spermatogenesis, it is the process of formation of sperms, process of formation of male gametes, that is spermatozoa, that is spermatozoa. We all are known that spermatogenesis, it occurs in the lumen of seminiferous tubules of testes. We have already studied while studying male reproductive system, while studying the testes, histological structure of testes, we have came across that the testes, that is male gonad, internally shows say thousands of, that is about 1000 to 1200 microscopic tubules, that is seminiferous tubules, isn't it? And in the lumen, in the cavity of that seminiferous tubule, it occurs the process of spermatogenesis. Actually, the process of spermatogenesis in male individuals begin at puberty, that is at sexual maturity. You know that in male individual, the puberty is attained in between the age of 14 to 16. Near about in between 14 to 16, and at puberty the hypothalamus, it is a part of brain. Hypothalamus it secretes one hormone called gonadotropin releasing hormone or gonadotropin releasing factor, which stimulate anterior pituitary for the secretion of hormone FSH, and under the influence of hormone FSH it starts the process of spermatogenesis. Listen, I am going to talk little bit more detail. See, here is supposed to be the lateral view of brain. Once again, lateral view of brain. There is one little part of the brain called as diencephalon. Diencephalon. About that we shall study in detail in another chapter while discussing about the brain. Just imagine, here is a small part of brain, diencephalon. The base of diencephalon or floor of diencephalon is known as hypothalamus. Hypothalamus. या डायन्सेफेलॉनचा जो तळाचा भाग आहे, फ्लोअर आहे, त्याला हायपोथॅलामस असं म्हणतात. And the pituitary gland remain attached to the hypothalamus. Or in another words we can say that pituitary gland, it hangs below hypothalamus. It hangs below hypothalamus. You know, this is pituitary gland. Now what happens? This is pituitary gland. Now when male individual attains puberty around the age between 14 to 16, at this age the hypothalamus, a part of brain, hypothalamus, it secretes, hypothalamus, let me write here, hypothalamus, it secretes one hormone called gonadotropin releasing hormone or gonadotropin releasing factor, whatever it may be. Gonadotropin releasing factor, it is abbreviated as gonadotropin. Gonadotropin releasing hormone or releasing factor. We can write here as hormone or factor. Hypothalamus, it secretes gonadotropin releasing hormone. This hormone stimulates pituitary gland, anterior pituitary gland. Now here is supposed to be the pituitary gland. This is its anterior lobe. Now this gonadotropin releasing hormone, it stimulates anterior pituitary. It stimulates anterior pituitary to release hormone FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. Now in male individuals, this follicle stimulating hormone, it induces the seminiferous tubules of testes for the process of spermatogenesis. Here is supposed to be the seminiferous tubule. Here I have shown single seminiferous tubule. Now the spermatogenesis, it takes place in 3 phases. There are 3 phases of spermatogenesis, such as first phase is known as phase of multiplication or multiplication phase, second growth phase, and third maturation phase. Listen once again. Suppose here is the histological structure of testes. You know, internally testes is divided into many lobules. Okay, each lobule encloses 1 to 4 tubules, isn't it? These tubules are nothing but the seminiferous tubule. Now let us take out one seminiferous tubule outside. एक seminiferous tubule में इथे बाजूला घेतली आहे. We have already studied that each seminiferous tubule is internally lined by a single layer of cuboidal epithelial cells. Single layer of cuboidal epithelial cells known as germinal epithelium. Germinal epithelium. But the germinal epithelium is interrupted by some tall pyramidal large sized cells known as Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells, isn't it? Okay. Now The germinal epithelial cells are responsible for the process of spermatogenesis. Germinal epithelial cells are responsible for the process of spermatogenesis. Let me draw. Here is a small part of germinal epithelium. Just look. Here is supposed to be germinal epithelium. These are germinal epithelial cells. Germinal epithelial cells. These germinal epithelial cells are also called as primordial germ cells. These are diploid in nature. You know, diploid means having two sets of chromosomes, right? Diploid condition in human being shows 46 chromosomes, that is 23 pairs. You all are aware. याचा अर्थ या प्रत्येक सेल मध्ये त्या ठिकाणी गुणसूत्रांच्या 23 जोड्या आहेत. याचा अर्थ 46 गुणसूत्र आहेत. अर्थात ही डिप्लॉइड कंडिशन आहे. आता आपण पहिली फेज बघतोय. पहिल्या फेजचं मी नाव सांगितलं होतं फेज ऑफ मल्टिप्लिकेशन. Multiplication phase. In this phase, the primordial germ cells, or we can say these germinal epithelial cells, divide, redivide mitotically. Germinal epithelial cells, mind well, mitotically in the sense by the process of mitosis. अर्थात मायटोसिस या पद्धतीने त्या ठिकाणी या जर्मिनल एपिथेलियल सेलचं विभाजन होतं. So obviously, just imagine here is a single primordial germ cell. मी मुद्दामच ही एक सेल अशी बाजूला काढून घेतलेली आहे. कल्पना करा की ही primordial germ cell मी बाजूला काढून घेतली. Now this primordial germ cell divides mitotically by mitosis to form two daughter cells. Of course, the division is mitotic, isn't it? Here division is mitotic. या ठिकाणी झालेलं जे डिव्हिजन आहे ते मायटोटिक आहे. मायटोसिस या पद्धतीने झालंय, ज्याला आपण इक्वेशनल डिव्हिजन म्हणतो. इट मीन्स द क्रोमोझोमल नंबर रिमेन्स कॉन्स्टंट. म्हणजे पेशी विभाजन होत असताना गुणसूत्रांची संख्या ही स्थिर राहते, सारखी राहते. मग या ठिकाणी ही प्रायमॉर्डियल जर्म सेल जर डिप्लॉइड आहे तो ऑब्वियसली या ज्या डॉटर सेल्स तयार झाल्या त्या पण डिप्लॉइड असतील. आय सेड that cell divide repeatedly. त्या पेशींचं परत परत विभाजन होत राहतं. Means now here the primordial germ cell divides mitotically to form two daughter cells. Again these two daughter cells further divide mitotically to form two daughter cells each. Again two daughter cells each. These are also diploid in nature. These are also diploid in nature, means having 46 chromosome. And these number of small cells formed due to the repeated mitotic division of primordial germ cells are called as spermatogonia. These cells are called as the spermatogonia. या ज्या सेल्स तयार झाल्या यांना म्हटलं जातं स्पर्मॅटोगोनिया. सो दीज आर द स्पर्मॅटोगोनिया. दिस इज फर्स्ट फेज, that is phase of multiplication. Now some of the spermatogonia, out of these many spermatogonia, some of the spermatogonia they stop the further process of mitosis. They further stop the process of mitosis. या ज्या स्पर्मॅटोगोनिया तयार झाल्या आहेत त्यापैकी काही स्पर्मॅटोगोनियांचं पुढे परत मायटोसिस या पद्धतीने होणारं पेशी विभाजन हे तात्पुरतं थांबतं. And that cells suppose here this spermatogonia has stopped its further equational division, further mitotic division, and now this spermatogonium singular, this spermatogonium it enlarges in its size, it grows in its size due to the accumulation of cytoplasm, due to the accumulation of duplicated chromosomes, as well as due to the accumulation of food in its cytoplasm. Such enlarged cell is now called as primary spermatocyte. Primary spermatocyte. And the formation of primary spermatocyte simply by the growth of spermatogonium represent second phase in the process of spermatogenesis, that is growth phase. Growth phase means, mind well, here in growth phase it occurs simply the growth of spermatogonium due to the accumulation of food, cytoplasm, etc. Here cell division does not take place, and the formation of primary spermatocyte from spermatogonium is also known as spermatocytogenesis. Listen this term, spermatocytogenesis. Now come to the third phase, that is maturation phase. तिसरी phase येते maturation phase. In maturation phase, this diploid primary spermatocyte, it undergoes two successive divisions. या प्रायमरी स्पर्मॅटोसाइटचं पाठोपाठ दोन वेळा विभाजन होतं. त्या विभाजनाला, त्या पेशी विभाजनाला मॅच्युरेशन डिव्हिजन असं म्हणतात. नाउ लिसन, द फर्स्ट मॅच्युरेशन डिव्हिजन, लेट मी राईट हिअर, द फर्स्ट मॅच्युरेशन डिव्हिजन, पहिलं जे मॅच्युरेशन डिव्हिजन असतं, that first maturation division is nothing but the meiosis first. Meiosis first. पहिलं जे maturation division असतं ते meiosis first असतं. And meiosis first is reduction division. Am I right? It is reductional division. म्हणजे meiosis first मध्ये गुणसूत्रांची संख्या ही निम्मी होत असते, हे आपल्याला माहिती आहे. मग या ठिकाणी हा जो प्रायमरी स्पर्मॅटोसाइट आहे त्याचं फर्स्ट मॅच्युरेशन डिव्हिजन होतं, अर्थात रिडक्शन डिव्हिजन होतं. अँड देर आर फॉर्मेशन ऑफ टू हॅप्लॉइड सेल्स. क्रोमोसोमल नंबर गेट रिड्यूस्ड टू हाफ. Two haploid cells. These haploid cells formed by the reduction division, by meiosis first or by first maturation division are called as secondary spermatocytes. या ज्या सेल्स तयार झाल्या यांना म्हटलं जातं सेकंडरी स्पर्मॅटोसाइट. याचा अर्थ एका प्रायमरी स्पर्मॅटोसाइट पासून दोन हॅप्लॉइड सेकंडरी स्पर्मॅटोसाइट तयार झाले, गुणसूत्रांची संख्या निम्मी झाली, डिप्लॉइड टू हॅप्लॉइड ड्यू टू द रिडक्शन डिव्हिजन. नाउ दिस ईच सेकंडरी स्पर्मॅटोसाइट, या प्रत्येक सेकंडरी स्पर्मॅटोसाइटचं पुन्हा आता सेकंड मॅच्युरेशन डिव्हिजन होतं. मी आत्ताच तुम्हाला म्हटलं की प्रायमरी स्पर्मॅटोसाइट it undergoes two successive maturation division. First maturation division, meiosis first. Now here this secondary spermatocyte undergoes second maturation division, and the second maturation division is nothing but the meiosis second. And we know meiosis second is equational division. याचा अर्थ meiosis second मध्ये गुणसूत्रांची संख्या ही निम्मी होत नाही, क्रोमोझोमची संख्या निम्मी होत नाही, आणि त्यामुळे या ठिकाणी या सेकंडरी स्पर्मॅटोसाइट पासून प्रत्येक सेकंडरी स्पर्मॅटोसाइट पासून दोन सेल्स तयार होतात. या पण हॅप्लॉइड असतात, आणि या ज्या सेल्स तयार झाल्या त्यांना म्हटलं जातं स्पर्मॅटिड्स. Now actually for our convenience, here I have shown these two secondary spermatocytes separate from each other, these all four spermatids separate from each other, but actually whenever the primary spermatocyte undergoes first and second maturation division, at that time these cells does not separate completely from each other. They remain connected with each other. Means there is no complete cytokinesis. तुम्हाला माहिती आहे सायटोकायनेसिस याचा अर्थ डिव्हिजन ऑफ सायटोप्लाझम. म्हणजे या ठिकाणी पेशी विभाजन होत असताना, सेल डिव्हिजन होत असताना त्यांचं सायटोप्लाझम, सायटोकायनेसिस होत नाही, सायटोप्लाझमिक डिव्हिजन पूर्ण होत नाही, आणि त्यामुळे या पेशी एकमेकाला कनेक्टेड असतात. बट लॅटर ऑन ऑल these four spermatids are transformed into the male gamete. that is sperms or spermatozoa. Sperms or spermatozoa, haploid sperms or spermatozoa. And this process of conversion, transformation of spermatid into spermatozoa is also known as spermiogenesis. लक्षात घ्या, स्पर्मिओजेनेसिस किंवा याला म्हटलं जातं स्पर्मॅटिलिओसिस. म्हणजे या स्पर्मॅटिडचं रूपांतर फक्त स्पर्मॅटोझोआ मध्ये होणं, स्पर्म्स मध्ये होणं, याला म्हटलं जातं स्पर्मिओजेनेसिस किंवा स्पर्मिओटिलिओसिस. आणि त्यावेळेला हे स्पर्म्स एकमेकांपासून वेगळे होत असतात. मग या ठिकाणी आपल्या लक्षात आलं पाहिजे की प्रायमरी स्पर्मॅटोसाइट इट अंडरगोज two successive maturation division. First reduction division, second equational division to form 4 haploid spermatids. इथे 4 haploid spermatids तयार झाले आणि या स्पर्मॅटिडचं मेटामॉर्फोसिस होतं. मेटामॉर्फोसिस याचा अर्थ काय? चेंज इन फॉर्म, त्यांचं स्वरूप बदलतं. कृपया लक्षात घ्या, या ठिकाणी हे जे स्पर्मॅटिड्स आहेत, हे स्पर्मॅटिड्स they appear quite similar to the other cells in the testes. हे स्पर्मॅटिड्स टेस्टिस मध्ये किंवा आपण म्हणूया सेमिनिफेरस ट्युब्युल्स मध्ये असलेल्या इतर सेल्स सारखेच असतात, फक्त ते हॅप्लॉइड असतात. पण हे स्पर्मॅटिड्स जे नॉन मोटाईल आहेत, त्यांना मोटिलिटी नसते, ते नॉन फंक्शनल आहेत, त्यांचं ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन मोटाईल आणि ऍक्टिव्ह स्पर्म्स मध्ये होत असतं. Transformation of spermatids into the motile sperm is known as spermiogenesis or spermatilosis. During the transformation of spermatid into the sperm, it occurs the lengthening of the spermatid. Spermatid ची लांबी वाढते. It occurs some reshuffling in the position of centriole. त्या स्पर्मॅटिड मध्ये असणारे जे सेंट्रिओल्स आहेत त्यांची जागा एक निश्चित होते. There is a formation of tail तयार होते. अर्थात ज्यामुळे स्पर्मॅटिड जो नॉन मोटाईल सेल होता त्याचं रूपांतर होतं मोटाईल आणि ऍक्टिव्ह स्पर्म मध्ये. आणि ही जी पूर्ण तिसरी स्टेप आहे, दॅट इज द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ सेकंडरी स्पर्मॅटोसाइट, स्पर्मॅटिड अँड ऍक्च्युअल स्पर्म. दिस थर्ड स्टेप इज नोन ॲज द मॅच्युरेशन फेज. तिसरी स्टेप झाली मॅच्युरेशन फेज. It means during maturation phase, from single primary spermatocyte, from single diploid primary spermatocyte, 4 haploid sperms, 4 haploid spermatozoa are formed. In this manner, the spermatogenesis takes place. Actually, I told you all these stages remain present in the lumen of seminiferous tubule. या ठिकाणी ते सगळ्या सेल्स प्रेझेंट असतात, त्या डेव्हलपमेंटल स्टेजेस प्रेझेंट असतात. अँड these newly formed cells, हे नव्याने तयार झालेले जे स्पर्म्स असतात, that sperms remain attached to the Sertoli cells. या ठिकाणी मी पिवळ्या रंगाने सर्टोली सेल्स दाखवले आहेत. त्या सर्टोली सेल्सला हे नव्याने तयार झालेले स्पर्म्स त्यांच्या हेड जो रिजन आहे, अँटेरियर जो त्यांचा पार्ट आहे, त्या हेडने सर्टोली सेल्सला चिकटलेले असतात. अँड देअर टेल रिमेन सस्पेंडेड ॲट द सेंटर ऑफ ल्युमेन ऑफ सेमिनिफेरस ट्युब्यूल. ऑफ कोर्स दिस सर्टोली सेल प्रोव्हाइड नरिशमेंट, प्रोटेक्शन अँड सपोर्ट टू द न्यूली फॉर्म्ड स्पर्म्स. In this manner, we have studied about the process of spermatogenesis. Now we have to study the structure of spermatozoon. So now let us study structure of spermatozoon. Spermatozoon singular, spermatozoa plural. Spermatozoon is defined as microscopic, haploid and motile male gamete which is responsible to carry paternal character into the offsprings. Listen once again. I said that spermatozoon is microscopic, haploid and motile male gamete responsible to carry paternal character into the offspring. Paternal character means what? The characters of father into the offspring. अर्थात वडिलांचे गुणधर्म हे अपत्यामध्ये वाहून नेणारा हा मेल गॅमेट and it is motile and that's why here actually it is called spermatozoon. This word stands for the zoo, that is animal, means it has ability of movement. Anyway, first of all I would like to tell you that the human spermatozoon, first of all discovered by scientist Leeuwenhoek. The name of scientist Leeuwenhoek. Now, in our previous lectures, I have taught you, during sexual intercourse, during coitus, that is during sexual mating of male and female, the male reproductive fluid, that is semen, the semen is ejaculated from male reproductive system into the female reproductive tract. Now, during single ejaculation, about 3 to 5 ml of semen is ejaculated out from male reproductive system, and 1 ml of semen contain near about 100 to 150 millions of sperms. Just imagine. It means in a single ejaculation, about 400 to 500 millions of sperms are present. Actually, for the process of fertilization, only single sperm is enough. Only single sperm is necessary. Then question arises, why such a huge number of sperms are deposited along with semen in female reproductive tract? We shall get the answer of this question in another topic, in our next topic, while studying the fertilization. Now here we people have to study about the length and width of sperm. As I told you that the sperm is microscopic and therefore on an average the length of sperm is near about 50 to 60 micron or 0.05 to 0.06 mm, and its width it is near about 3.5 micron. Now we have to study the structure of sperm. आता या ठिकाणी आपल्याला sperm चा स्ट्रक्चर शिकायचं आहे. Structurally, human spermatozoon is divided into 4 parts, such as head, neck, middle piece and tail. So let us discuss one by one each. Here I am going to draw a suitable diagram, and along with diagram I am going to explain you the peculiarities of all those 4 parts. So first part is head. Head, it is anterior most part, somewhat oval in shape, flat. It is anterior most, oval and flat part, enclosing single haploid nucleus. Mind well, the nucleus is haploid. We know gametes are always haploid. Now the nucleus is haploid means definitely nucleus contain 23 chromosomes only. Single set of chromosomes. We all are known, in human being there are 23 pairs of chromosome in diploid cell. 23 pairs of chromosome in diploid cell, isn't it? 23 pairs means what? 46 chromosome in diploid cell. But here the sperms as well as ovum, ova, these are haploid. So now in the nucleus of sperm there are presence of only 23 chromosomes. Mind well that 23 chromosomes are either 22 plus X or 22 plus Y. 22 plus X or 22 plus Y. Now what is 22 and what is X and Y? Let me tell you briefly. 22, these are autosomes. The chromosomes which control general body characters are called autosomes. सर्वसाधारण शारीरिक गुणधर्म नियंत्रित करणारी जी क्रोमोझोम्स असतात, गुणसूत्र असतात, त्यांना ऑटोझोम्स म्हणतात. आणि जे गुणसूत्र, जे क्रोमोझोम सेक्स डिटरमाइन करतात त्यांना म्हटलं जातं सेक्स क्रोमोझोम. You might be known in human being the sex chromosomes are represented by letters X and Y. X and Y. We shall study in another chapter. But let me tell you, suppose XX, these are called as female sex chromosomes. These are called female sex chromosomes. And XY are known as male sex chromosomes. Male sex chromosomes. Now here, the nucleus of sperm contain either 22 autosomes and X as a sex chromosome or 22 autosomes and Y as a sex chromosome. It means the sperm produced in human being are of two types, exactly 50-50%. Half of the sperms are of this type, that is contain 22 plus X and half of the sperms with 22 plus Y. Now those sperms which show 22 plus X chromosome in the nucleus are called as gymnosperms. They are called as the gymnosperms. And the sperms which show 22 plus Y are called as androsperms. Androsperms. What does it mean? Gyno, this word stands for female. Means here, in this condition you can observe 22 plus X. X, this sex chromosome is present in female mostly, isn't it? There is a we can say double dose of this chromosome XX. And here the Y chromosome, it is exclusively present in male, and that's why such sperms with 22 plus Y are called as the androsperms. Andro stands for here male. Anyway, so I was telling you that head, it is the anterior most part of the sperm enclosing single haploid nucleus which contain 23 chromosomes, either 22 plus X or 22 plus Y, surrounded by little cytoplasm. Now at the tip of head of sperm there is a presence of a small cap-like structure. There is a presence of small cap-like structure. This cap-like structure is called acrosome. Acrosome. Actually, this acrosome is modified Golgi body. It is modified Golgi apparatus, isn't it? In 11th we people have studied Golgi body, one of the important cell organelle. And here the Golgi body of the sperm get modified into the acrosome. This acrosome is responsible for the secretion of different enzymes such as hyaluronidase, as well as some hydrolytic enzymes such as zona, lysine, acrosine. These enzymes are necessary at the time of penetration to the ovum. Means whenever the sperm reaches near the ovum, female gamete, at that time the sperm has to penetrate the ovum, isn't it? The sperm has to penetrate the ovum, and to penetrate the wall of ovum, covering of ovum, it requires different enzymes. That enzymes are secreted by the acrosome. Do you understand? I said that this acrosome is responsible for the secretion of different enzymes, hyaluronidase. and some other hydrolytic enzyme, झोना, लायसिन, ॲक्रोसिन etc. हे जे एन्झाईम्स आहेत हे ॲक्रोझोम मार्फत रिलीज केले जातात की जे एन्झाईम्स ज्या वेळेला हा स्पर्म ओव्हमला फिमेल गॅमेटला पेनिट्रेट करतो त्यावेळेला त्यांची आवश्यकता असते. नाउ हियर द ॲक्रोझोम अँड द upper half part, upper anterior part of the head is covered by one sheath. Here is one sheath. ॲक्रोझोम आणि हेडचा निम्मा भाग याला कव्हर करणारा आणखीन एक आवरण असतं. दिस शीथ इज कॉल्ड ॲज गॅलिया. या शीथला गॅलिया असं म्हणतात. अर्थात या ठिकाणी आपण हेड या भागाचा पहिल्या भागाचा विचार करत होतो. Remember, while attempting MCQ, you must remember which part of sperm is genetic part. So obviously, genetic part is nothing but the head, because head encloses nucleus and nucleus encloses the genetic material, that is chromosomes or DNA. Anyway, now head is followed by a short and narrow structure. Short and narrow structure known as neck. Known as neck. Actually, this neck is very short and narrow part which connects the head with next part, that is middle piece. That is middle piece. Here I am going to show the middle piece. Let me explain. We are talking about the neck. I said that the head is followed by a short and narrow part, that is neck. This neck encloses pair of centrioles. These are such type of two cylindrical bodies which remain perpendicular or right angle to each other. So here is a presence of pair of centrioles in this neck region. Of course, let me show. Here is one centriole, here is another centriole, and the upper centriole which is nearer, almost very close to the nucleus, is known as proximal centriole. Proximal, and another one is nothing but the distal centriole. So these are centrioles. So neck contains pair of centrioles, proximal and distal, which lie at right angle to each other. What is the significance of these centrioles? Let me tell you. When the sperm penetrates the ovum, at that time this proximal centriole is introduced into the ovum. ज्या वेळेला हा स्पर्म ओव्हमला पेनिट्रेट करतो फर्टिलायझेशन या प्रक्रियेच्या वेळेला, त्यावेळेला हा प्रॉक्सिमल सेंट्रिओल त्या ठिकाणी ओव्हम मध्ये इंट्रोड्यूस केला जातो, एग सेल मध्ये इंट्रोड्यूस केला जातो. बिकॉज दिस प्रॉक्सिमल सेंट्रिओल इज हेल्पफुल फॉर द फर्दर प्रोसेस ऑफ क्लिव्हेज ऑफ झायगोट. आता क्लिव्हेज म्हणजे काय ते आपल्याला पुढे कळणार आहे, पण फर्टिलायझेशन झाल्यानंतर, फलनाची क्रिया झाल्यानंतर, झायगोट तयार झाल्यानंतर तो युनिसेल्युलर झायगोट हा क्लिव्हेज, याचा अर्थ that zygote undergoes repeated mitotic division to form the embryo. अर्थात त्या झायगोटचं रिपीटेड पेशी विभाजन होतं, सेल डिव्हिजन होतं आणि त्याला क्लिव्हेज असं म्हणतात. आणि हे होण्यासाठी या प्रॉक्सिमल सेंट्रिओलची तिकडे गरज असते. आणि हा जो डिस्टल सेंट्रिओल आहे, दिस डिस्टल सेंट्रिओल इट गिव्स राइज टू an elongated thin filament. Elongated thin filament called as axial filament. Axial filament. You can see this axial filament, it runs from the middle of middle piece and also it extends below as a tail. So here we have seen about the neck. Now come to the third part, that is middle piece. Middle piece. It is longer and cylindrical in shape. The middle piece shows axial filament passing through its center, and this axial filament is surrounded by spirally arranged 10 to 14 mitochondria. Let me show. 10 to 14 mitochondria. So here is supposed to be a spiral sheath. या ठिकाणी एक आपल्याला अशा प्रकारची स्पायरल शीथ दिसते. Ribbon like structure. It contains 10 to 14 mitochondria. 10 to 14 mitochondria. And that mitochondria are wrapped spirally arranged around the axial filament. This mitochondrial sheath is also known as Nebenthum. We know what is the role of mitochondria. We know mitochondria, powerhouse of cell. So here these mitochondria are responsible for production of energy which is necessary during the movement of sperm at the time of fertilization. So this is all about the middle piece. One more thing. Look, here I told you initially the acrosome and half of the upper part of head is covered by a sheath, that is galea. In the same manner, the remaining half part of the head, neck and this middle piece is further covered by means of a sheath. By means of a sheath covering is known as manchete. Manchete. Protective in nature. Now come to the last part, that is tail. Last part is tail. Tail, it is posterior most, elongated, thin, whip-like structure. The tail is nothing but actually an extension of axial filament. It is an extension of axial filament which originate from the distal centriole. या distal centriole पासून ही जी axial filament आलेली आहे तीच axial filament या ठिकाणी tail म्हणून पुढे कंटिन्यू होते. This tail further shows two parts. या tailचे परत दोन भाग केले जातात. Its initial part, the initial part of the tail, which is comparatively short, covered with cytoplasm and plasma membrane. Cytoplasm and plasma membrane. This initial short part of tail, which is sheathed, that is with a covering of cytoplasm and plasma membrane, is known as main piece. Main piece. And the posterior elongated part, which is simply in the form of axial filament, it is not covered by cytoplasm and plasma membrane, is known as end piece. End piece. So here we have seen the tail. What is the role of tail? Very simple. The tail, because of its lashing movement, because of its whip-like structure, and we can say its vibrating nature, it helps to propel the sperm forward so that the sperm can swim in fluid medium. Sperm can swim in fluid medium to reach up to the ovum at the time of fertilization. So here we have studied how is the structure of spermatozoon. या ठिकाणी आपण स्पर्मॅटोझोनचं स्ट्रक्चर हे पूर्ण केलेलं आहे.